A fourth pick, again, Grimstroke's definitely still a potential, but clearly Vega Squadron thinking of another direction. Also, if they want to run a support Nyx, you know, obviously another KZ hero at that point, so.
They have like no team fight. The more I look at it, the more I'm liking the Grimstroke idea, just because I feel like it adds more to their 5-man. Because right now on the 5-man, I actually kind of like Empire's team like a little bit better. Okay, there's some team fight. That's the Grimstroke partner that I would expect to see. But now we're looking at a mid hero, I guess, for Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll save their last pick of the draft to hopefully get a good hero matchup or something that can kind of win them the game here. But I like this Centaur. Yeah, like you say, it gives them this really good team fight now. It gives them a good, reliable way to start team fights off. Nyx is not the most reliable with his stun, and also if there's sentries down, you're not just going to be able to vendetta in and make plays happen. So this kind of shores up that part of their draft, and also is a very strong laner. I think you have to think carefully about what you're going to lane against a Centaur.
If they wanted to do a tiny safe lane, would he be okay against Centaur? Or?
It would be okay, but the Tiny's going to farm no matter where he goes. So you have time to now adjust and say, okay, what hero can we put in the Centaur lane? And it could actually just be the Lone Druid, or maybe not. The thing about Empire's team is that they have two very good laners. Like Tiny and Lone Druid are both great, even in 1v1s. So they can pick and choose what matchups they want. And they can save their last pick for something that's going to be a little bit more potent. Because they have 10th pick again, correct? I think they should.
Vega has 10th
No,
pick.
Vega does. Yeah.
Oh, no, Vega has it. Okay.
Yeah, they get the double 8-9 pick here.
Okay.
So that it may just, yeah, it could just be like their Lone Druid mid or something. They're going to pick it up at this stage of the game. I'm not sure where they normally run this hero.
This is a nice idea, though, because their 5-man is still crazy strong. And even with the Centaur to supplement with, like, Stampede and Blink Initiation, the heroes are tanky. Like, there's really only one hero on the side of Empire right now that's going to be really scared of, like, that jump, and that's the Coddle. The Sand King, the Tiny, the Lone Druid, these heroes are all going to have very good survivability in their own right, and it's going to be tough to just go in and pop one of them. Like, you're not going to be able to do what they did last game, where Kezu was playing the Tiny, and he would just go in, throw a support to your team, and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really going to work this time around. You're going to have to find another way to take fights.
They banned Luna. I suppose her aura would have felt pretty good this game. Beefing up.
Yeah, they're scared of the 5-man. They're very scared.
Yeah.
They don't want to get 5-man down, because that's their weakness right now. They don't really have a way of fighting as 5.
They also don't have the best heroes to push out lanes or really creep cut or anything like that. They will take some time to kind of come online.
Dire team pick.
Ban OD.
Radiant team
And they're just going to say, we want the Juggernaut.
Very nice pick.
I like these heroes with kill potential against Centaur that don't rely on right-clicking, because anytime you get in a right-click battle with Centaur in lane, you're just giving him these retaliate stacks, and suddenly he's hitting with like double damage, and you're losing that battle. So Jug having, I think, Blade Fury makes this lane a lot more manageable for Empire Hope.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I really like Empire's draft this time around. They have, I think, all the
5
pieces they
seconds
need.
remaining.
Because realistically, how do Vegas start fights? Like, you're either going to hit Stampede or your Nyx is going to walk into some guy and like try to stun through Vendetta, right? That's it. That's all they have. And even if you picked another initiator right now, what hero is going to give them enough damage to deal with like the beef that the Empire currently has?
Yeah.
Make sure they have some magical burst, but it's not a tremendous amount. Well, that's going to help. That's damage. That's a lot of damage. And it's a hero that doesn't necessarily mind sitting in front of like the 5-man death wall. This could be the solution.
That feels pretty nice. It's a support Tiny too, so the one hero with like good magic damage burst is going to be in a support role, so not going to farm up a lot of items or get levels as much early on. So this feels like a really good hero, particularly with that matchup against likely the Lone Druid.
Yeah, this will be interesting for sure. I'll still say this. I think that it's going to be hard for Vega just because I don't feel like they have enough ways of taking fights. Like, sure, the Timber's going to exist and he's going to do a lot of damage, but there needs to be something else happening in the game.
One thing I was looking for with that final pick, too, was obviously you can't have everything. As, by the way, you go to es.bet. You can put in your bets if you like. Vega Squadron, now the favorite team. Remember, going into Game 1, it was Empire Hope, at least initially, and understandably so, especially without the group stages win. But now Vega Squadron, they have the 1-0 lead. You can also take advantage of the insurance that's currently in play for the WePlay Winter Madness event. Again, head over to es.bet to place your bets if you would like. All right, though, but yeah, going to that final pick was the lack of BKB piercing stuns, specifically with a Juggernaut. They didn't get that answer with the Timbersaw. Yes, it's damage, but they are going to be lacking that, however. You know, pending, you know, something like an Abyssal Blade on Phantom Assassin. But that's going to be some freedom there, I suppose you could say, for the Juggernaut eventual BKB purchases as well.
Well, on paper, the PA versus Jug matchup always favors the PA. So I don't think that they care about necessarily countering the Jug specifically on the side of Vega. I think the whole purpose that Empire wanted in the first place was, like God said, it's good against the Centaur in lane because you don't have to auto. And it brings Healing Ward. And Healing Ward is the thing that plays into the style that they were picking around, which is let's just walk around with a bunch of heroes and take buildings. Like that's, I look at the lineup and I go, that's what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they want this game to drag super late necessarily. They're going to look to get like a couple items on Lone Druid and really start just taking objectives, taking Roshan, and playing pretty fast tempo. Maybe like a Blink Dagger on Tiny to be their initiator, similar to what we saw Kezu doing last game. But once they get all these kind of key items, they're going to be looking to end the game pretty fast.
Now, I think it's safe to say, because one, we've been seeing this so much, but good to see the range Lone Druid, not the bear build, you would figure.
I think that's the only build that's really viable right now from what I've seen. The old Radiance Bear just takes too long to come online and is too slow paced. Whereas the ranged build, there's a couple different items you can go. We've seen some like Deso, we've seen some like Maelstrom builds. It just seems a bit more playable right now.
Juggernaut saying hello to Nyx Assassin. That's all that's going to happen there. As 4 heroes are up here for Vega Squadron right now, so obviously going to eventually swap things around, but want to control these bounty runes, at least at the top lane. Juggernaut's trying to figure out, where he's going to end up. Noticing how the lanes are setting up, he's running as if he's going to maybe go elsewhere, or maybe he's just running away from the Nyx Assassin. That's possibly it too. Sand King so far the only hero at the bottom lane right now. He's going to have a free lane. It stays this way. I doubt it.
Should be pretty happy. I don't, like you say, I don't think it's going to stay this way. Coddle's being scattered up here as well, so a lot of good info going the way of Vega.
It's going to be musical lanes. See where everyone ends up, I guess. I mean, the one thing that Vega really wants is the Timber against Lone Druid, because that is the only hero that can lane against Lone Druid in this game. As long as they get that, they'll be happy. But on the flip side, Empire doesn't really have to win their lanes. That's the beauty of their lineup, is even if you get a little bit behind in CS or whatever, Villiers is actually doing some interesting stuff here, I guess.
The tree he grabbed,
I guess.
Yeah, he was trying to snipe a courier, but the tree he grabbed meant that he was no longer in fog, so a slight misstep there from him.
Yeah. Whoops. Oh, not the end of the world, but a little unfortunate. It is going to be that trial lane from Vega Squadron. Defensive trial lane down here, the Lich Nyx Assassin supports, and they're already playing a lot of pressure to that Juggernaut. Going to force an early spin out of him. Anything defensively, just try to get a little bit of CS. But yeah, as soon as it wears off, he takes the Impale Stun. Blinding Light pushback, gets a couple of misses to help him out. It still might be enough damage, though. One more dagger from Adara. Well, top lane, we also have action, apparently. Juggernaut's still getting low. No, he pops a salvo, looks like, so he will survive. But yeah, both lanes, several heroes getting low. No first blood, though.
Man, Timbersaw already with 9 CS this early on. This is going to be such a free Timbersaw game, I feel.
Yeah, that was an unbelievably good pick. I was trying to think of like what hero could actually solve all these problems, but if you just have someone who can't die and just does a ridiculous amount of damage, that's always good.
Sounds like he should be picked up every game when you explain it that way, Draskyl.
Yeah, well, when you get him like 10th pick, that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
He's one of these heroes that is situational. Like, you need to make sure there's, like at least 4 heroes picked up on the other side that Timber's going to be good against or not countered by. And then when you can pick him up, he feels like almost overpowered in the right games.
Yeah, they even had the OD ban like before the pick as well. There's like nothing they could do to deal with it.
It's a cute little double Savage Raw to get those denies by Kodos in the mid lane.
Yeah, having to try extra hard to do well in that CS battle at least, but as we point out, it's still favoring Timbersaw even with those big plays. As bottom lane, we have Tiny rotating over, so it is a full try versus try action now down here. Of course, spin of the Juggernaut you always got to look out for. Not the greatest setup. I guess like a Blinding Light pushback could potentially be a setup, but keeping their distance. And right now, Madara is also relying on those dagger throws to help with their CS. Doesn't want to get too close.
Now this lane's really dangerous to try to commit on if you're Vega, because the Lich Armor can definitely turn it really fast, but then you have like Tiny, when he gets 3 he'll get tossed and he can throw you in the tower and stuff. It's just really risky to go on anyone.
So Juggernaut, his CS opening up a little bit here as they're very even between him and the PA. And then once again we have the top lane. It's 2 solo heroes going at it. We have Centaur up against the Sand King. Right now Centaur's 15-3, Sand King 14-4. So very just overall somewhat even. It's just Timbersaw again, that one that's having a decent advantage. He's lane right now.
Yep.
The Sand King should pull ahead, right? I think the Sand King definitely pulls ahead at like 3 and 5, because you can kill the wave way faster than the Centaur. You don't have to lose health to do it, and then you can just farm jungle camps as well.
Yeah, and then you get like a Ring of Health or whatever towards like a Vanguard or something, and you can just, you don't care if you're tanking creeps or, you know, jungling and taking damage because you've got that sustain.
Sand King, we sometimes see the early Vanguard purchase into an eventual like Crimson card. Do you think he needs that blink though as soon as possible this game? Would you rather see that direction, or is it fine if he goes that utility?
I don't think you need a rush of Blink. It always feels like a mistake if you're having a good lane to rush an item like Blink that doesn't... I mean, it gives you this initiation, ability to make plays, but it's so much better just to tank up most of the time and get like a fast Vanguard or Hood or Helm of the Dominator. These kind of like higher impact items can do a lot more.
It just allows you to play like different... oh, is that Lich dead? Maybe.
Frost Shield! Oh, man.
Oh, he's fine. He had stick, actually. Yeah, but going back to like the whole like Vanguard thing, on heroes like Centaur especially, it's like how you play with it, right? You can cut the wave, you can make the enemy team decide, do we want to TP heroes up here to kill him? Otherwise, this guy's just going to keep free farming, right? So when you get that tanky item, it just allows you to play like super aggressive.
Yeah. Like when you get a Blink, you don't want to go to the lane and keep farming. It's like you're forced to play this one way, which is play in fog, smoke with your team, and go for kills.
5-minute bounty runes, thus we have action. Finally, we got our first blood as a result, too. Pexu credit for it, but they just caught the Coddle as he was running over trying to pick it up for himself. They ended up getting both down here, at least. They're going to lose a Lich in return with that Blade Frenzy spin, and that should be it as far as hero kills go. Dara's heading back to farm. So, got those 5-minute bounty runes. Eventually, we're going to see kills at that mark. Seems like we always get it, especially in a try versus try lane. Just trying to prioritize it. Going the Radiant way, though. But yeah, I keep looking over the mini-map at least and seeing that middle lane. You just have Timbersaw manning up even past the tower. And all the lone druids competing actually very well when you do look at the CS.
Yeah, the bear gets a lot of damage as you level, and then you get like the entangle and stuff, and you're gonna get the farm. The real issue arises when the Timber hits 6, because then he's gonna start throwing chakrams at you, and if he gets like his Soul Ring, his Arcanes or whatever, you're gonna eventually get whittled down. That's the point in the lane where the Timber is really gonna start to pull ahead, and we might see the lone druid opt to like jungle, or maybe... I don't think you can gank in this game, that's the problem. Like, how do you gank that hero?
They have not got damage to gank the Timbersaw. His lane is... I think it's this, okay, it's a good Timber game, you've just got to ignore him and play the other lanes.
Yeah.
We're seeing the Sand King, Centaur, similar thing. Both those heroes are having such a good start. They're also ungankable, so most of the plays is probably going to be happening around this bottom lane, at least for the side of Empire. Whereas Vega, they can gank a lone druid, and it looks like that's what they want to do here.
That's exactly what they're going for. Frost Shield put up. That's a good combo on top of the Timbersaw. There's that shock we were mentioning as well, level 6. Kill the bear and easy kill onto Kodos. Playing that
was really smooth. They even had the Centaur Stampede for that. That was like the perfect rotation at the perfect time. Like Mage hit 6, the Centaur was 6. No way for them to stop that kill from happening.
Yeah. Bottom. I see Tiny down there. He's actually being gone on. Just watching the life pool. There we go. Velhor. He's going to get some assistance from Coddle. Chakra thrown up on him, trying to help. No more spells to use, though. Even going to be mana burned. And eventually going to tick down to the Frost Shield and the Dagger throw to finish the job. So kind of a no man's land right there. And now Juggernaut has to respect being jumped on, too. So Phantom Assassin, I mean, when it comes to her net worth, she's actually one of the lowest in the game right now when you look at all the cores. But at least getting a kill right there to make up a bit. So is this a game where we still expect to see that Battle Fury Phantom Assassin play coming out?
I think it depends on the state of the game. Once you like even get enough money to think about buying a Battle Fury, as MNT is gonna drop here under the tower. But there's too much magic damage in this lane. I think they're gonna hold.
Oh, tree! Got her. Well.
But yeah, that's why she has no net worth, because PA doesn't want to lane against heroes that deal the majority of their damage through spells. You want to lane against auto attackers, and that's not really what any of these heroes do on the side of Empire.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's definitely bad news for this bottom lane. PA doesn't really have a good lane to go to. Sanking has too many levels up top. Mid lane, you know, it's this lone druid that's going to cause you problems, so you're kind of stuck only going back to this bottom lane.
Next assassin. I'm trying to get away from the spin. As soon as he came back into the lane, you do see that spiked carapace, but it's just not going to matter. Eventually gets killed off. I believe a stampede was even used right there. Still doesn't save. They get the turn kill on a Juggernaut. He tosses him to Coddle. What? That was a mistake, buddy. He's like trying to save himself. Ultimately going to get his Coddle killed because of this. As the dagger finishes the job, however. Now Phantom Assassin going to use that blur, a little bit of a disjoint of sorts, and Phantom strikes to his teammate to survive. Yeah, Tiny, he kind of regrets that decision.
That was, that's a tip right there. That's when you tip the Tiny.
It was like this, I've got one last thing to do before I die. I'm just going to make sure I screw over my teammate as well. Bring him down with me.
Yeah.
But I think he maybe thought that his teammates could actually kill off the PA afterwards with the toss, but they didn't have any damage left, really.
Bold decision. Middle lane. Timber saw.
Tower's very low. This is what Timber does. Like, he just plays behind your tower. The creep wave over time just whittles away at your tier 1, and we'll see if Kodos can get the deny. It's a decent chunk of gold that he should be looking to try and take away from Vega.
Now, watching a Timber Saw and a good Timber Saw game, anyone who doesn't watch Dota and sees this are going to go, wow, I'm just playing this thing every game.
Yeah.
I just can't die. I do tons of damage.
Especially if you come from other MOBAs where towers actually kill you in 3 shots. You watch Timber Saw and you're just like, wait, what do towers do?
Yeah, well, these towers suck. Silver Edge is, of course, an answer to an extent to Timber Saw, at least dealing with that reactive armor. I guess Juggernaut would be the one candidate they do have. With that in mind, could you see Juggernaut going a Shadow Blade into an early Silver Edge?
I don't think so. It doesn't play around what his team wants to do. Like, Silver Edge would be nice in a game where there's a lot of split pushing going on and like a bunch of farming, but in a game where you really want to play 5-man, I could see him just buying some stat items. Like, Manda's good, SNY is good, like anything, like even Vlad's, if no one else is going to buy it. Like, you just want to be by your team.
Here comes that gank. It's like we saw before. The Stampede even activated. I mean, it's just like, what do you do? Okay, that was...
Die.
Yeah, I don't know about that choice from Mage. He's in the Timber Chain away with the Whirling Death, but...
He started the TP and he still had Roar, so maybe he was assuming that was like the most amount of damage he could output before the TP went off. Yeah. But they do lose the PA in the meantime, so nice exchange there from Empire.
Omni Slash committed for that. See Centaur top lane getting low, but manages to back off. Also, the buildings have a pipe early on. So he's planning to go for it now. That would have come into play right here because the Epicenter is going to be active on top of him. KZ a little too tanky, though, even with the Epicenter and so little life in the first place. He does survive. More TPs coming in, including Timber Saw, but not much mana to work with. So they're going to pop a Shrine and go elsewhere.
That is one beautiful play.
Yeah, he is so farmed right now, this Centaur. I mean, all the cores are farmed other than PA this game. Everyone, 5 of the 6 cores have just free farmed their lane.
Oh, the Junk's actually going Battle Fury. Interesting. I mean, I guess if you're having a really good lane and you're ahead, there's no reason not to, but...
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could argue even more of that Maelstrom route, perhaps, to help get a little bit more magic damage built in, but...
Well, the Battle Fury is nice because it solves all your mana issues as well. So you don't have to really worry about buying, like, these clarities and stuff. You already have treads. You can just tread switch to spin and stuff. It's just a very comfy item to have on Jug.
Middle. Centaur. It's a stomp.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this new ability is ridiculous.
Oh.
Just plus 183 damage, no big deal.
That's insane.
And they're going for Juggernaut. He gets tipped by the Juggernaut first. Now, Retaliate damage has worn off, I believe, and they're diving to Tier 3 tower. Ladies and gentlemen, you usually don't want to do this for this reason.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't going to die there. Kuman was on point with the tip.
Yeah, that was a misplay, and even they lose maybe next time elsewhere as well.
There was 2 heroes dying on the high ground, the enemy base, at 12 minutes in.
Yikes.
This is something.
Middle tower
This
is under
is
attack.
definitely something.
I don't care
I
what.
mean, on the bright side, Mage is he's sticking to his game plan. He knows what he's supposed to do. He can take towers. I mean, sometimes if it's like an exceptional Timber game, you can actually kill the tier 2 mid before you even leave, because the heroes are gonna like, if they try to kill you, it's a waste of time, right? Because you're a Timber Saw and you just can't really die. But in this case, I guess he saw his teammate and decided to rotate top. So he's sticking to the plan.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what your Timber are doing. The maybe issue for Vega is that he can still be ignored. It's not like this hero that pushes objectives that quickly. He's very slow at pushing, but he does get there, and there's nothing you can do about it if you don't have the right heroes, which is what we're seeing. 2 towers at 13 minutes, and he's gonna probably keep going for more.
He's even got his hood too. This is troublesome.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it goes back to, it's like, is it going to be able to do enough, though? You look at the 3 cores of the Empire Hope, they're all farming very well, just as good, if not better, than Timbersaw.
Right. The Timbersaw can't high ground. That's his problem. Like, he can take all the tier 2s, no problem. You just sit between the tier 2 and the tier 3, but once you get to that high ground, it's definitely concerning. I could see a fight here.
Just literally ignore him.
Yeah, don't look at him. That's it.
What do they want to do, though? They're knocking over.
They're actually just not looking at him.
Going for the teammates. There's only so much of that you can do, though. It feels like Will-O-Wisp does come out. They're going to pull back in Mage as well as KZ, the bigger target. That's the one they want to kill now. He's a beefy target himself, as we're seeing right here. Hoof stomp, no, going to be canceled with the barrel strike. That Will-O-Wisp as well. He could not get a damn hoof stomp off because of the lockdown. Well played there by Empire Hope. They get the kill. Now, they just spent 5 heroes, though, killing a Centaur and a lot of time, while PA pushes elsewhere and at least recovers a little bit. So I don't know.
PA actually took the tier 2. It got denied by the lone druid, but that's a tier 2 mid, not taken by the Timber. I think he managed to help get it a bit low, but a lot of the map being lost by Empire Hope, even though they have this 3k gold lead.
So I want to mention something really quickly. The Lich is level 4.
Wow,
it's not good. 15 minutes
in. I looked at the top of the screen and I was like, I wonder if Lich was top, if they would have, Chain Frost, maybe they win that fight. And then I saw that he didn't have it, so then I looked and I said, wait a minute, he was level 4 when that happened.
Yeah. Under
That's a rough bottom line.
Is that a Spirit Vessel or an Urn? Either way, it's on Mage. And he is dropping a little bit. Maybe next time going to be the Sacrificial Lamb of sorts. He pops Vendetta. Do they not have vision? Oh, they do now. Sentry's down. Is he going to be in range of it, though? You have the Burl Strike hitting, and yes, they do get the kill. So it kind of sacrifices once again to save his teammate, at least.
Yeah, Sand King already with the Spirit Vessel. This maybe helps them address Timbersaw. It doesn't deal with his armor, which is what allows him to tank a lot of the damage. I mean, he's also got the hood, but at least it stops the regen from kicking in.
Yeah, the regen is actually a big deal, because what do you have, like 30, 40 HP regen a second with like 20 stacks in a hood? It's actually pretty absurd.
Oh, Peksu, that's leveling will be delayed that much more. Gets found there. I believe it might have been an Omni/kill, but either way, yeah, it looks like it was. And that's almost a Battle Fury for Kuman here on the Juggernaut. So he is going to have it very good time. Phantom Assassin, I can't imagine, is too far behind at this rate, though. She's got 6,200 net worth.
Yeah, considering the lane he had, his recovery has been pretty good.
How has Lone Druid been building, by the way? I guess we'll see in a second when they click on him, but I assume he's going the range build. We probably can confirm that at least.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of Wraith bands and he's going MKB.
Okay. Oh, wow, okay. Straight MKB.
I mean, there's a PA, and you already have shown in the fights that you have enough flank survivability to not really have to worry about the Timber. There's a healing ward that goes down, like in the top fight, and you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Top Mage is back at it. 63 health regen. So this Spirit Vessel, if you do want to try and gank or kill Mage, it does have a lot of value. And I think he realized that because he's going straight Lotus Orb, and that's pretty much largely a counter the Spirit Vessel.
It's actually just a good Lotus game, though, isn't it? It's good for Sand King, good for Omni. You can just like Lotus yourself, walk up to a tower, hit it. It just feels nice to have, and it even gets rid of Entangle, which is still pretty annoying even for a Timber.
The armor is good as well, just the passiveness of it. So, yeah, overall it does seem like good at him.
Oh my god, he missed his stun. Yikes.
Going in, but Sand King, yeah, he'll be fine. Impale's one of those stuns. You'll see that from Nyx Assassins. Seems like it's difficult to land sometimes.
It is very hard to land, especially the close ones. The close ones, at least for me, are the hardest. The long ones are actually easier.
Well, they get away, though, at least in response, so...
Dude,
no
is
harm,
he
no
still
foul.
not 6? Good God.
He's not. Get that
Please,
man some
maybe one of the
experience.
slowest
Man,
level 6s.
give him a lane. Please give him a lane. Please, God.
He had bottom lane for a little bit, but PA suddenly said, I need this. I need my Battle Fury.
You gotta help a brother out at this point. Okay, he got it finally. He's 6.
18-11. That might be like one of the slowest level 6s I've ever seen.
Top lane, Timbersaul's going in, but we've seen this before. You can kind of retreat from it. Blinding Light pushback, although Timbersaul in pursuit still. Centaur, he does not have Stampede yet, so that's why we're not seeing it come out, but they're doing everything they can to just retreat here, and a Savage Roar completes that, so good getaway. They keep the bear away, although to the right, Nyx Assassin, he is setting up on a Sand King. However, the Burrow Strike again, and he's out. So they just cannot seem to get these openings.
Well, this is what we talked about. It's like the Centaur still doesn't have Blink, right? So without that, there's no really good way of starting fights. Their Lich is going to die on the high ground again.
I think that was Tiny just completed a Blink Dagger, so...
Oh, God.
He's level
Poor
6.
Sexy, man.
It's okay.
I mean, it's probably the highest level he's going to get this game, to be honest.
That would hurt.
This Tiny's got a lot of farm, considering it's a 4th position. Velior is able to make a lot of plays around with the Blink pickup now.
Well, they're winning all the skirmishes, too. They have a kill lead. They have, what, the same... no, they have one more tower, actually, than what Vega currently have. So, yeah. He's definitely having a much nicer time than, like, M&T, for example, who I guess would be the mirror position in this game.
Yeah. Well, the fact he also got the Blink before the Sand King, who just got his, but Sand King with the whole Vanguard first and everything, so...
Yeah, this went from being, like, a really good Nyx game and it was picked to a really bad Nyx game. Because you can't deal with the Jug, the Lone Druid, or the Tiny. Like, those heroes, you just, as Nyx, you look at him and you just shrug and you go, I don't know, this is tough for me. You need another hero to be able to combo with.
Oh, they're just going in. Jumping into Casey right there. He pops Stampede, though, with a Frost Shield. He's going to be fine. Will-O-Wisp put down, pulls it back in a little bit. Timbersaul also gets pushed in with the Blinding Light, and they are going to continue to be pulled in by that Disco Ball. However, too tanky. Chain Frost is bouncing around the back lines, and the follow-up from Madara. They cut down one in that Tiny. They want more. Chakra is out. Madara got up here though with a Burrow Strike, having a Phantom Strike to a teammate, run away. That Nyx Assassin, Spike Carapace ain't going to do a damn thing against a spinning Juggernaut, so they do lose Phantom Assassin. Nice triple Impale Stun. It'll only be for naught though, as he still goes down. And I mean, they're lacking damage. It's clearly the evident thing right now on the Radiant side.
Even with the Timber, like they don't have anyone hitting the healing ward either. Like Kuman put the healing ward down, lasted for like 10 or 11 seconds in that fight. That's way too long. That's like half of a health pool of HP to each hero that is being recovered.
True.
So if you don't kill that thing like instantly, the fight is never going to favor you because you just don't have enough lockdown to keep the heroes down to get that damage out. So it's like a multiple pronged issue. It's like one, you don't really have that many disables, and two, even if they are disabled, they all have to be on the same person, and they have to be chained correctly, and the Timber has to be on them. Otherwise, they just walk away.
And we're kind of seeing Empire Hope, like they've hit all their item timings now. Everyone is pretty tanky as far as like the heroes that need to get that survivability. 2.5k health on the Sand King. Juggernaut's got plenty of items. Tiny as a support has that burst kill potential of a Blink Dagger, and they're just offering way more than like all their counterparts. Like the Centaur is not doing as much as the Sand King in these fights, and PA's just not farmed enough to have an impact.
I think God's touched on it a bit earlier in the game as we're going to see an attempted kill here on the Kuman.
Again, they kill the ward, so that's a start. They're really all in on this kill, man. Omni Slash comes out, and here comes a response now with the supporting cast. In fact, stun on a mage. Out comes the Spear Vessel. Nope, never mind. He'll be fine. Has a Crimson Guard also to tank up. Got that Lotus Orb completed, so yeah, they used a bit right there to try to kill that Juggernaut, but obviously they responded. They're going to lose Lich, and Centaur's also now in a bad spot. He's trying to run, but not going to get too far at this rate.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim right now for Vega.
Well, Casey's still juking. He's making it difficult. Finally.
He's got no Blink to escape, though, so no real way. He may see a Courier Snipe. It looks like Nyx will get the Courier. And TP himself back home. So small little annoying plays, but it's really just that at this point. It's a nuisance, but it's not really setting you back if you're Empire Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gods mentioned like the PA didn't have anywhere to go in this game. That is like a large part of their problem, I think. Because normally when the PA has like 2 or 3 items, even in a game like this with tankier heroes, you can still do something, right? You kill the Coddle, maybe kill the Sand King or something like that in fights, you can contribute. But the fact is, Madara can't do anything. Like, against these heroes, you jump in, they get a healing ward dropped on them, you get stunned, you don't have a BKB, like... You have so few options, and this is the thing that they were truly terrified of that's happening right now, which is a 5-man with a bear and a healing ward.
Well, we'll see if they have any kind of answer for it. Tier 3's already dead. Timbersaul's there, but as has been the theme here for Empire Hope, they're just kind of letting him be, saying he's not going to be enough of a threat for us, so why would we try to deal with him? They're going right for the melee racks. Out comes the stun on top of the avalanche. With that Pearl Strike, Stampede in response from KSU, just running on through. Will-O-Wisp is put down, though, and the teamfight looking pretty good now for Empire Hope. They cut through the Timbersaw eventually. He has a buyback. Doesn't want to have to use it. The Chain Frost is bouncing around, though, slowing them and doing some decent damage, but the melee racks falls, and especially without the buyback, I mean, there's no way Vega's winning this fight, so... Maiden, oh, he's going to be pulled back in. And he's so beefy, though.
I don't know, because they think they can kill him here. Yeah, they're going to leave him be. And
okay.
Well, that makes the situation even worse.
And we realize that. Phantom Assassin was pushing the top lane during that, so... But she's died. She buys her BKB after the fact, but... Yikes. Another death.
I'm wondering if, instead of going for like the full Crimson Pipe, if KheZu should have just went for like the Hood Vanguard Blink. I think delaying the Blink this long is actually becoming like detrimental, and I guess here we'll get to see the Madara death. That's a painful one right there.
Yeah, he tried to turn, but with the tiny assistance, great Savage Roar initially, they had the kill.
Yeah, but I feel the Blink delay is actually really, really tough for them to handle right now, because how do they get kills, right? Like, you have to go in, Blink stun with the Nyx or the Centaur, and then the other hero has to follow up with the Timber, and that's how you kill, right? That's your, like, 1, 2, 3. You get that kill, and you can just run or take the fight, whatever. But because he doesn't have Blink, if the enemy team just has sentries, which obviously Empire have had a lot of sentries this game, they have a ton on the map right now, your Nyx is never going to get that opening, and then you're completely relying on Stampede. And I think that's a mistake. I think you need the Blink.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think Timber is one of these heroes that kind of does want some stun set up to hit the chakra. It is one of those spells once people get like a couple movement speed items that is not that easy to always land. You want to have like a Blink Centaur stun or something to set you up. And, well, that hasn't really been there, and suddenly they're going to be pressed to defend without this Blink Dagger, and KheZu still, 25 minutes in, hasn't found it.
I mean, I guess it's nice to have the pipe and the Crimson when you can just stand in front of a tower like this, but they're not even stopping them. Like, they don't care at all. He's just microing the healing ward away from them and just being like, yeah, you can't do enough damage.
PA is split pushing, as we see once again. Just gets tier 3, his Sand King's out there, but now they're in chase. The Stampede activated. Kuman getting cut by the Whirling Death. The Impale's not going to connect, though, due to the spin. Reclaim on the Aegis, by the way, as Peksu falls right here. Kodos able to do more than enough damage for that, but now he's in a bad spot. Valhir nearby, puts a stun on a couple. Will-O-Wisp once again put down, and we've seen the impact throughout. Bouncing over the neutral grid to the Anomaly Slash. It doesn't matter. There's just too many bounces. And down go both on the Nyx Assassin and Centaur. Now Kuman manning up with the spin. They get a Pearl Strike stun on top of that. The BKB of Phantom Assassin is helping as she jumps on a Coddle to finish him off. But now Madara having to run away from Tiny. Valhir looking to reset. He just used his Blink, so don't know if it's going to come back off in time. Doesn't look like it. I mean, the fight actually wasn't half bad, especially considering they got the tier 3 tower kill. I think you're okay if you're Vega there.
Yeah, you can see why PA wasn't at the last fight and was just farming top and dying, because this BKB was the key item for them, where they can actually attempt to fight. When you don't have to worry about the Will-O-Wisp as much, the Sand King stun, suddenly the PA can actually go in and kill some of these heroes, like Lone Druid. The Savage Roar has been incredibly annoying. Anytime PA goes on Lone Druid, Savage Roar comes out. So this BKB makes a big, big difference.
I agree that the BKB is great, but that Jug is got a full item on the PA.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a huge problem.
It's like, not going to be enough on its own.
Yeah, the trap of buying BKB in a game like this is that it's a necessary item. It 100% needs to be bought. But at the same time, if like Kuman's obviously itemizing very well because he goes for the butterfly knowing that the PA will probably need BKB. And that means you're now like 5,000 extra gold away from an item that's going to allow you to actually kill that hero. Like the Deso is great. You'll kill the Coddle, you could probably kill basically everyone else but the Jug. And that's going to become the main issue.
That's a decent courier snipe again by Nyx. This time it actually stops a forest staff from being delivered, so they're going to be without that for the next 2.5 minutes or so on Empire's side. So kind of slowing that down. You mentioned the Desolator just picked up on Phantom Assassin. This game's not over. It's a 12,000 net worth lead for Empire Hope, but PA is climbing up and up, and we've seen, especially post 7.20, what this hero can do. You mentioned the Abyssal Blade on its way, and I believe you were even talking about earlier. I mean, when it comes to that end game, Phantom Assassin, great for manning. Oh, by the way, what a smoke, I guess, takeaway there from Valhior. Now, he is going to die for it in the end, but they were setting up a 5-man smoke gank, and it got popped immediately.
They were expecting to maybe make a play towards Roshan, get a kill. If Roshan respawns early here, they definitely can steal it. That's one of the nice things about the PA with the Deso is that they have plenty of damage for it, but they're going to be a little bit too early as Roshan can't respawn for at least another 5 seconds.
Maiden, top lane. He does have a Yules as well. Just going to pop the Sandstorm for now and hide in there. Blinks away and keeping them guessing, at least where he's at.
I mean, if they can take another good team fight where the PA is able to pick off like the squishier heroes with BKB, there could definitely be like some kind of rush turnaround and the potential for Vega to pull this back. It's still a rough road though. That Jug is still like a very, very big issue.
Oh yeah. This second Roshan going to be big though, and from the looks of it, it's actually going to be a very long Roshan respawn, at least 2 minutes I would say from now. So have a bit of a window here, more farm to make up I suppose, but once the second Roshan takes place, you know, depending on how we're looking, we'll see if Vega Squadron is able to contest. Nyx Assassin scouting it out and trying to check to see if it's spawning, but again, as we see, it's not going to be for a bit at this point.
They got about like 5 minutes, I would say, Vega, because they're at the point where one hero on the side of Empire already has MKB, like the Lone Druid has it, and then Kuman's going to have an MKB as well. And then your BKB is not going to matter at all as they instantly lose MNT there. A little greedy on the scouting. Yeah, this could be rough. There is buyback on the Nyx though.
Yeah, there's that obvious sentry ward there up on that hill. They're jumping in. Nyx does buy back. Again, Will-O-Wisp is put down with the Stampede, though. Activated of Keizu. Yeah, Koda's locked down the whole time. Finally, with the BKB, though, is able to run away. Maiden. He's probably dead. Gets pulled back in by the Sinister's Gaze. Timber Chain forward to finish the job. Kodos, the BKB wears off at the last second. He's trying to TP out. Not enough. There's 3 dead. Oh, they killed Juggernaut to start that as well. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he got deleted. Center, that's the blink, you know? That's what they needed.
Wow.
Keizu blink stun on Jug. This was one of the few times it felt like he kind of mismicroed the healing ward. It was really far back and not healing him. He was sitting on half health, going high ground without a healing ward. I mean, he had it up. It just wasn't in range, and a blink center stun just removes him because PA just gets an insta crit, takes him out of the fight, and it's just lost there.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you just, you know, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? You just take it. You don't ask questions about why he was sitting there with the ceiling ward out of range. You just like, all right, that's okay with us.
Yeah. Now, I guess kind of a good news for Empire Hope is the fact that it was a very long Roshan respawn, because if that comes up now, I mean, they're doing Roshan and taking it for sure, but the fact that they're going to be able to resurrect before Roshan's even up at this rate is very helpful for Empire, at least, because this game was
even a DD.
Was there one there?
The
okay.
Yeah, if they see that.
They're holding it. They know. They know Roshan can be up soon.
Yeah, if they have a bottle, that'd be incredible right now. I don't actually know if they do. Yeah, Madara's just gonna pick it up, so
he's gonna walk straight back to the pit. The one thing is though, like the Jug died without casting any spells, so he will have Omni. They're not gonna have the Wisp. Actually, they might. I don't know what the CD is exactly, but
do they risk going into the Roshan pit? It looks like they may want to smoke here.
Too. He's got a full MKB. Jesus, he pulled that item out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He hurts right now, and they're going to kill Roche instantly. Empire need to move there right away, and I don't think they're getting here in time.
Well, they're trying, but you mentioned he is killing us so quickly. It's going to happen too fast, because if anything, Timbersaw is going to zone them.
Yep.
And there you go.
Yeah, Roche is dead. Now PA, who doesn't have buyback because she just bought out, suddenly has an Aegis, so it doesn't matter. You make up for that lack of buyback, and suddenly this game has become very, very even.
Yeah, and in a couple of minutes, we've basically had about a 10,000 net worth swing favoring Vega Squadron. As you see, it's only a 3,000 net worth lead right now. So, yeah, this PA, she's at that ridiculous point. Already farming towards another item, but it's really now is with that Aegis. Is where she is absolutely deadly. And you still have Timbersaw, who's that beefy presence with the Centaur. Speaking of Centaur, the Stampede's activated on the top lane. Trying to kill Kato with it. He's by himself currently. Kato just simply going to try to TP out. Blinding Light already used. Not enough. KZ eventually kills them. Timbersaw there to help. And they're going to transition nicely into the top tier 1 or tier 3 tower push. However, bottom lane, you did see down here, in fact, Kuman pushing by himself. They do not have a stopper. So he will get out.
That's a good play.
The downside of not going for the basher on the PA.
Yep. So nice
I think
distraction.
it's okay though, because like realistically, the Jug can't ever Omni you. So as long as you can't get Omni, you don't really need the basher because you can just kill him in the fight. If you get like lucky or whatever, get a crit or two like we saw before. I mean, granted he was at half HP, but man, that is going to come back to haunt them so bad.
That scenario there is like the one time where you're like, oh man, basher would be nice, but yeah, I definitely agree. He can split push and Blade Fury TP out from anything right now, but you're okay with that because of where the game sits.
Hey, look at this
Well, they
Centaur.
got good vision here.
Yeah, they're baiting this Phantom Assassin for sure, but obviously Empire Hope is with the Aegis, they're not going to go all out.
I like what the Tiny's doing too. Velio's cutting the mid wave. Like this is really a good play. They're making sure that they can't get like 2 lanes with waves to the base. That way, you know, you kill one, they go to the other, they hit the tier 3, etc., etc. But by doing this, he's preventing them from getting both waves.
He's going to cut bottom as well. I mean, they're pretty much just at this state where they want to delay the Aegis out because PA having 2 lives is pretty much impossible to fight into unless they somehow get a far better engagement. But, they want to try and delay. Problem is they haven't been able to completely destroy this bottom creep wave, so Vega will get to high ground.
Oh, they're going so deep. They burst down Kato. That's what Phantom Assassin can do. I'm mentioning about being deleted. And going to go for the tier 3 as well. So, stun in from Maiden. However, the host up in response. That Sandstorm's not going to save him because the dust comes out. Sand King buys back immediately. Again, no Will-O-Wisp because the Kato's dead. Tier 3 tower dead. Phantom Assassin, she goes in right as Belhir tried to jump. However, the Savage Word, nice Omni Slash does kill 2 targets. That Battle Fury Cleave coming into play. Made into the backlash, jumping onto Mage. But again, he's that tanky Timbersaw. He doesn't give 2 craps. The Spirit Vessel's not going to help either. So Phantom Assassin did fall. She went too deep. However, the Aegis bringing her back up. Kuman trying to survive against this Timbersaw this whole time. Madara taking the stun once again as she comes back out. Lotus Orb trying to help the best that he can. It's not enough, though. Madara does fall on Phantom Assassin. They're diving too deep for this. Mage now needs to get away. Timber Chain out. And he's going to go for the TP play. It will be successful. Just barely right there. Well, they get tier 3, but that's all. As you take a look, es.bet. Again, you can put those bets in. Look at those odds currently. But, man, what a fight there for Vega Squadron. But, yeah, they went too deep.
It was a very sloppily played by Madara. I think he BKB'd way too early. Like, he BKB'd before his Aegis even popped, and he was, like, I think he was hitting his Sand King or something.
The
And
Sand King
everyone
had
had
used
buyback.
Burrow, too. Like, there was no Burrow
Yeah.
stun to worry about.
I think Madara played that fight pretty poorly, to be honest. Like, if he saves his BKB, at the very least, like, when you're committing that hard, and you have Aegis, it's generally the rule of thumb that you don't want to BKB before your Aegis pops, because if the fight for some reason goes south, you'll have an escape plan, right? Like, you can BKB TP, or you can BKB get a kill, and then, you know, whatever. But because he BKB'd right away, and they all had buyouts, those buyouts end up circumventing his Aegis because his BKB is down for when he respawns. Okay, they just instantly kill Kuman again.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom Assassin is dead, but they were really spread out right there.
They may get more here.
Maiden on the run, Yules. He has Burrow Strike in 4 seconds. It's not going to be nearly in time. That's a dieback. He's out for 90. Kuman's dead with a buyback, but of course you don't want to have to use that. So, yeah, not too sure about that decision to just kind of push, split like that.
Well, they got 2 waves pushed in pretty far, and no one's really near top. So I don't know if Vega are really going to have the time to get across the entire map and really put out serious pressure, but it does give them some breathing room.
Yeah, and Tiny's already in position to go for another wave cut. Actually, what's he doing here? He takes the range Rex and then the wave.
Dude, Velior is crushing it this game. This guy is like in the right place all the time. He knows what his job is. He's
there, he escaped. He forced stuff out away from the Lich so there's no Sinister Gaze to cancel the TP. Like, he's making all the right plays.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Kato is actually not in position right now. Someone needs to be here to kill these creeps.
They're trying right there, and it's Velhor. He comes in, he's like, I'll take care of it.
We still have some time without backdoor protection here, though. Even with the way. Oh, there's still a range creep.
There's still a range. Yeah, he didn't get the range one. So defensive 4 comes out, but also saw the axe up on Timbersaw, so there you go. The double chakram coming into play. And now that they go middle racks.
Not that much time to get this, though.
Indecisiveness coming out here, too.
Center hit so hard.
Scared.
Velhor, though, he ran into Madara, and that's the end of him. He buys back.
Well.
It is, so they're not going to be able to finish off the melee racks. Mage has to get out with the Timber Chain. And I suppose they got the Tiny buyback. But yeah, all because of Tiny earlier with that creep cut. If he doesn't do that, that is a dead melee racks, most likely.
This is still, like, I think, way better from Vega in the sense, like, they learned from what happened bottom, where they dove in, they completely overextended, and kind of lost a bit of their advantage. This time around, you know, they say, well, okay, we lost our creep wave. We're going to kill this Tiny, force this buyback, and hey, we're not going to get the racks. That's okay. We still scale better in the late game. We can wait for the next Roshan. I think we're seeing a lot more kind of composure from Vega now.
Yeah, it was a bit stable. Madara is still doing some weird stuff. Like, he walked back and forth for like 4 or 5 seconds. That could have been the racks. Like, 2 or 3 hits with his damage. Like, he probably takes the melee there if he just commits a little bit harder. But I can understand being gun-shy from what happened bot.
Yeah.
Smoke here.
They are going in. Failure leading the way. There's that Will-O-Wisp. What's going to come into play? Madara locked down initially. Has that BKB. Going to pop it. Going right for the Lone Jewel. Looks like no. She's just trying to run, actually. Madara still getting away. The Chain Frost bouncing around. Going to keep Venom Assassin alive. Still taking down. It looks like off to the left as Kata was picked off. He buys back, though. Again, kind of doing his job, though, with that Will-O-Wisp. But tankier targets Maze and Keizu sitting on top of Kuman. Lich was finished off. He buys back, too, though. Phantom Assassin kind of resetting this whole time. She's back at the fountain. They are going to catch up to Lone Druid in the end. So they went all in trying to kill the PA. She's did a great job of getting away, though. And now the supporting cast is cleaning up from Vega Squadron. They're going to catch Maiden as well. Ends up being an unstoppable streak for Mage.
Yeah, Mage is pretty unkillable in all of these fights. And now with the Axe, he actually has damage. Peksu survives that one, Bailey. That would have been a dieback from Lich. But the fact Mage has an Axe now means he's a serious damage threat in these fights. And he's being ignored because of how unkillable he is, so he just wreaks havoc.
Yeah, he got the nice double chakram onto the coddle. He just blew him up in the beginning of the fight. Like, he threw down the Will-O-Wisp and 2 chakrams just sliced him in half. It's very, very unfortunate because when you first pick a hero, you know it's going to get countered, right? This is another DD into Roche. No, we're going to see a longer.
Unless he gets lucky with the respawn.
Pretty short.
It's a pretty short one, yeah.
No.
But they're not going to wait around long enough.
They can just walk mid and hit the racks like twice. Should be enough.
Yeah, they're looking for a kill. They're ignoring the creep wave. We're leaving the creep wave for Lich.
Kuman would be that target. BKB. He's going to have to spin. That might not be enough to with some big crits. Gets one. It kills Coddle, surprisingly. Just dies out of nowhere. Okay. Well, that works.
That's brutal.
That was really rough.
Backdoor protection.
The change adding double runes at 40 minutes is actually, I really like it because it creates these playmaking opportunities. So you're much less likely to be in these late game stalemates. Like seeing these carries with DD runes, as much as it's kind of broken, it rewards the team that has map control. And I like that.
Yeah, and now they're going to go back for Roshan.
Well, they don't have a coddle, so this is going to be interesting. Like, the Will-O-Wisp actually matters a lot in the fights, especially when the BKB is down on the PA.
Time to hide.
Absolutely. Like, that was just a coincidental death, right? Like, he didn't even know that was going to happen. It just happened.
That's Phantom Assassin in a half shell there. They're not going to fully commit to Roshan. It's really just PA, but that's all that's needed, of course. As the fight does break out, she gets the Aegis. They're running in, but they're too damn late. Now the dagger's starting to happen. Kuman has his own BKB up. Going to get some help from Maiden with that Burrow Strike. Omnisside's bouncing around as well. Madara getting about half-life. Remember, she has the Aegis worst case. She jumps on a Kodos, and Kodos just melts as expected. Kuman manning up. That's not going to work, though, it feels like. As nope, the Burrow Strike's done. Might help him. You hear the Lotus Orb reflecting something, but yeah, down goes Juggernaut. He buys back, as does the Lone Druid. They're going to get the Aegis popped. Maiden sitting in that Sandstorm. Shotgun takes him out, though, in the double kill. He is staying dead for 70-plus seconds. So at least they got the Aegis spent. Not exactly sure on the status of the cheese of the refresher, but Velhor is also going to get caught out by Centaur. Getting combo, doesn't matter. Should be the end of Tiny here. There you go.
There's another DD. This time it's bot. Kuman's going to get it. Doesn't have Omni, but he might be able to force a TP or two, depending on where he goes. It's really scary, though, because you got 2 heroes without buyback. He obviously just bought it himself. So if he dies again, it's like you can't come back from that. Like he needs to be alive, but there also needs to be pressure on the map. This is such a hard position for Empire to play from.
And yeah, issue is you may just find your Rax is being sieged here, and you're going to be forced to defend, even without your buyback up. So we'll see if PA finds any openings here. Both top and bottom lane don't even have a tier 3 tower, so Raxes are fully exposed.
And she just got her Abyssal Blade. I also saw, what is it, a level 5 Dagon, I want to say, on Timbersaw.
Yeah. That's one of those great like 6 items for Timber, because your damage starts to fall off a little bit, and you're already unkillable. So just getting this single target damage works really nicely.
Yeah.
I believe PA still is the one with the refresher shot, so we can see double BKB in the upcoming fight.
Kuman. Oh my god, he's melting. There's that Dagon.
Yeah.
Double chalk on Dagon. That's some big damage.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Gonna go for the Rax, of course, knowing that Empire is pretty scared right now. And with how farmed especially Phantom Assassin is. And this is the great thing about a late game Timbersaw though too. He can just kind of do this, be that frontline distraction. Kind of gotta go through me that wall in a sense. Case is also pretty good at that. Will-O-Wisp goes down, but again, Coddle. It's like she wasn't even there. I mean, I suppose at least he got the ultimate down this time, but yeah, is that really going to do enough? Not really. They kill it quickly. They kill the melee Rax. They're going to kill the ranged. And it's a last-ditch effort for Empire now. It feels like jumps over the barrel strike at the upside of the Abyssal Blade locked in on Kuman. He's out for 2 minutes. Down goes Sand King. Failure doing what he can. Sand King does buy back, but you see Kodos. He is not the threat that Juggernaut is. I mean, he has that range at least, but PA just jumps onto Lone Druid. And I think, yep, Vega Squadron just did it. They're going to take the series 2-0. In a game they were behind as much as about 13 or so thousand net worth earlier on. They hold their ground, and Phantom Assassin, well, does PA things.
I mean, as well as Vega played that game to be able to come back from that deficit, I think they kind of got handed the comeback because of what happened bot. Like,
yeah,
making a mistake like that, when you're like pushing high ground, potentially getting racks and just straight up ending the game, and you're just sitting there at half HP and just kind of like I don't know what happened, honestly. Like that's something that it really should never happen at this level of play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's like the main reason why they were able to come back.
I agree. It may have been like the Centaur Blink reveal because he got it so incredibly late, so that might have been
true,
the
actually.
first time it came out.
That's a good
he
point.
may have like smoked himself or something. I can't say for sure without rewatching it, but even if it was, you should expect that Blink to be coming pretty soon. So putting yourself on the high ground with half health is not something you should be doing.
Our first series wrapping up here for today. Got our first of 3 to come. So Vega Squadron, 2-0 victory. They advance on. They're going to be matched up against OG later on here in the tournament in the playoff stage quarterfinals. As far as Empire Hope is concerned, their hopes are gone. They're eliminated, and they finish in that 12th place spot, essentially, as a result here. But that does mean our next series now should be coming up here in the near future. I believe we are working on this kind of rolling schedule of sorts, so ideally we'll be getting the teams good to go, or not we, but the admins and everything, getting that organized and getting it set up. And that matchup will be Empire Faith, so we're going to see the other Empire squad going up against No Pango, who is no doubt one of the stronger group stage teams, I think it's safe to say, coming out, and so expecting big things from them. But Empire Faith going to give themselves a fighting chance. We'll see how they can handle against what is No Pango. But we are going to go to that short break, guys. Stay tuned. Once again, I was BreakyCPK, joined by Gods as well as Draskyl here. We got the WePlay Winter Madness continuing, $100,000 on the line here for this tournament. Congrats once again to Vega Squadron. We'll be back with our next series, Empire Faith versus No Pango.